Welcome to our strengths conversation today. We have a special guest with us today. But first, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Jane Liebecker. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I'm an Eddie Villa certified coach, and I use the Gallup Clifton Strengths Assessment as a special tool. And with me here today are
I am Manetta Fields. I am joining you from the state of Maryland. I too am an Eddie Villa certified strengths coach. And I would like to say I use the Gallup Strengths Assessment as a tool in my coaching business as well.
our special
And I'm
guest today is Flo. Tell us about yourself, Flo.
I'm Florence Druid, and I am calling. I'm here from Maryland as well, and I am one of the first coaches from the Eddie Villa certified um, coaching program, and that's all I do is use the assessment to help people connect with themselves.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And we're grateful that you've joined us today, Florence. So,
Yay!
can you share with those that are watching what your dominant domain is or domains are?
Yes, domains with the S is correct. I am what you call a chameleon. I have 4 executing strengths, 3 strategic strengths, and 3 relationship building strengths in my top 10.
Nice. Love it. So, can you share with us how you learned about strength?
Absolutely. A couple years ago, 2018, I was on a leadership conference with doTERRA and I heard Eddie Villa speak and it resonated to me. And that's how I came to learn about this assessment.
Awesome. And so, how did you feel when you started to learn about the strengths?
Well, when he spoke, I just kept looking like, is this guy for real? The things he was saying, I felt such a deep connection and it resonated with who I am and all the stuff that I was learning. I was on the edge of my seat.
Mm, love it.
Hey, Flo, where is intellection in your top 10 strengths?
Sorry. Sorry about that. It is number 3. It's number
Number.
3.
Okay,
Nice.
great.
Okay, so before you get into sharing with us how you actually use it, I like to kind of give an explanation as to what the intellection strength is, and I use Gallup's definition for that. So it states people strong in the intellection theme are characterized by their intellectual activity. They are introspective and appreciate intellectual discussions. What say ye?
100% true. I'm not good with small talk. Some people are, but within minutes, we're gonna talk about something serious, or we're gonna be out the door.
Um, what are your number 1 and your number 5 strengths? We know those are important ones.
Yes, so my number 1 is restorative, and my number 5 is responsibility.
Oh, another
Mm,
responsibility one.
yeah, there it is.
Here it is.
So, can you tell us how you use your intellection, maybe by giving us an example?
Sure, I tend to be quiet and introspective. I'm not going to be the one that pops up and starts talking. I'm usually in the background thinking about what I'm hearing. That's how I use it. And so from that place, I can make choices that benefit me or the company or the conversation. But it's usually I'm usually laid back and I'm thinking. I'm processing. All of the work comes in the processing.
Mm.
So
Oh,
yes, yeah. So it plays a huge role before I actually execute.
and executing is your 4. You have 4 executing strengths, so that's good to know.
Mhm.
And so how can you give us an example of how your restorative and your responsibility kind of work together with your intellection?
Yeah, so restorative presents what it does, it presents an opportunity for something to be restored, something, someone, something. And it might not be at its the best, it might not be up to par. So that presents this is something I need to think about. And once I think about it, my responsibility kicks in and says, okay, the who, the what, the how. Is this something that I need to deal with? Is this something, because automatically I'm thinking about something that needs to be fixed, right? So the responsibility says, well, I'm gonna go fix it, and then intellection says, let me think about this first. Is this in alignment with me? Is this in alignment with God? Is this something I want to do? Do I have the capacity? So they all actually dance with each other.
Mm, that's
Dancing with
good.
each other. Love that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. What do you like about intellection?
I love that it gives me the opportunity to respond and not react. That's
Mm,
what I love about it. Because when I can sit back and think, that that creates the space for downloads to come, downloads of truth, downloads of what's not true. And so from that space, I can make my decision of how I'm going to move about in whatever the situation is.
Oh,
mm,
I love that.
that is so
So, what would you say to someone who's sitting on the fence about taking the assessment?
I would tell them go for it, because what's the worst that can happen? You learn about yourself. you know, if once you get that assessment, you're able to see how you were specifically created to be with words and definitions, as opposed to guessing, as
Mhm.
opposed to not really knowing. But this is a very specific assessment that says this is who you are. And from that place, you can embrace all your skills. You can lay down the lies that you've believed over the years as you were growing up. I had one person say, how did you know this? I wanted to be a teacher my whole life. I said, it's right there in your strengths. It tells me all I need to know. So yeah, absolutely. It's an opportunity to connect with you, and it helps you to show up differently in this world.
Mm,
That
I
is wonderful. I
yes,
love I love what you
flow
said.
shine.
Flow shine. Chameleon flow shine.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I know people are going to love hearing this about intellection, and we really appreciate your helping us out here.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
for
you
having
so
me.
much.
Such an honor.
Oh, the honor was ours, for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.